Right now, we're talking about high grocery store prices. You might have noticed that when you're shopping, those prices are a lot higher at the grocery store. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, things like meat, fish, poultry, eggs, they've gone up 10.5% year over year. Beef has spiked 17.6%. We know grocery store hoarding, people going in and stocking up, it's more prevalent now with fears over the pandemic. There are still some items that are harder to find due to staffing shortages all over the country. So what can you do to find what you have on your grocery list and actually save some cash? Joining us right now is Julie Alma Tavares, otherwise known as the Investing Latina. Good morning to you. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So we know people who are really big into couponing and they're clipping those coupons. There's this whole method to making sure to save money. Would you say to get on YouTube and learn how to clip ads?
Yes. I mean, listen, you have to learn how to save money. It's all about personal finance, managing your money, and saving money can be a little bit of a challenge in many ways, but doing your best to kind of save and to look at those coupons, look at those deals. It's really important. And it's actually one of the tips that we're going to talk about today.
Okay, well, bring it. Let's talk about it.
Yes. So we're talking about this shortage, and we're talking about the labor shortage and supply chain issues. And one of the biggest factors right now is that the price of meat and poultry and eggs is going up. So the key right now for you to save money is actually to do your best to pull back on some of those things. I know it might seem like, oh, if there's a shortage of something, let's get the most that we can right now. And that's kind of the situation that we went through last year in the pandemic, and everybody was buying the toilet paper. So it's important to kind of say, okay, this is something that's an issue right now, but this is temporary. How can I scale back a little bit? And ultimately, when you're buying less proteins, when you're buying less meats, you're also saving more money. So focusing a little bit more on fruits and vegetables is going to help you save money, and it's actually just healthier for you as well.
Well, that's debatable for a lot of families. They're not giving up their hamburgers. They are not giving up their steaks and their chicken breasts. So I don't know. I think that you're going to have people divided on this particular one. But do you think that food prices are going to continue to climb?
Well, I think that we are going to see that, especially because we are in the bottleneck right now, and there's this pressure because of what's happened in the pandemic. There's less people working, so to get things to shelves is a little bit more difficult. But I do think that it will recover. I don't think that it's something that we have to be afraid of in the long term. When it comes to food inflation, it hasn't gone up very much in the past 20 years. So this is something a bit of like an outlier. So I think it's really just a temporary thing. And as we have the administration stepping in to do things, hopefully they can step in more to alleviate some of these issues. We can get through this.
Have we seen analysts talk about the prices going down, that there would be a season, like you're saying, of this spike in prices at the grocery store, but by a certain date in 2022 or by the holidays, we'll actually see things start to decrease in terms of prices. Any forecasting there?
Yeah, I think it will definitely happen. It's a little bit difficult to tell exactly when. We can kind of make a few assumptions. But yeah, I think that with everybody working towards this and really alleviating the supply chain issues that we have had for some time is going to help us in that. And ultimately, I want to share those tips that you want to really try your best to work on. You want to reduce that consumption of meat, and like I mentioned, but you also want to shop local. So look around and find those local farms so that you can support those communities as well and get things more fresh. So it's really a great option. You also want to look at those apps. Look at those apps. Look at those deals. Like you mentioned, couponing. The local supermarkets will do their best to give you the best deals. So make sure that you're using them to your advantage.
All right, Julie, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.